Hello everyone. If you are the one who is preparing for your IELTS exam, well, this video is just for you, wherein I'll try to unlock all the technicalities associated or concomitant with your IELTS essay writing task number 2, that is your double question category itself, wherein we'll be discussing in a very comprehensive manner what is the right strategy to write your IELTS essay writing IELTS double question category. So let's start a discussion in context of it. First of all, how to plan and write IELTS double question essay. But for this very particular purpose, you should first have a fair amount of idea as to what is a double question, right? So basically, there will be one statement and two questions associated with it. Let's try to identify this thing. As I told you, one statement but with two questions, and the questions they may or they may not be interlinked. For example, here is a question of IELTS essay writing just in front of you. Fossil fuels are essential for producing electricity, powering industry, and fueling transportation, right? However, one day we will reach a point when all the world's fossil fuels have been depleted. So this is referred to as a statement, one statement, wherein the emphasis is on this very particular aspect as to fossil fuels, although they are very essential, but they are at the verge of extinction. Soon they will be very, in the process of being depleted, right? So this is our statement, right? Now there are two questions. First question is, how can we conserve these resources? Second question is, what are some alternatives to fossil fuels? The first question is, what is the procedure or the process which can be followed actually for the preservation of these resources? And second question, are there any alternatives to the fossil fuels? This is what is being actually called double question category, right? Double question, what happens is there will be one statement and two questions directly or indirectly associated with that statement. So this is double question example. Now let's start our discussion with respect to the double question. So as we are well versed with this aspect now, that okay, how to identify the double question. Now what technique can be followed to actually answer the double question? Firstly, you have to give an introduction in the essay writing, right? So you need to paraphrase the question, and what this paraphrasing is all about, we'll discuss in a very comprehensive manner in this very particular video only. So stay tuned till the end, right? So you will have to paraphrase the question and outline the sentence. That means you will have to give answer to both the questions. For example, in the given situation there were two questions. One was linked with your preservation, right, of the natural resources, and the other one was linked with your are there any alternatives to these fossil fuels or not, right? So then there will be a body paragraph, topic sentence, and explanation. We'll come back to this, but first of all, what is the right technique to answer this very particular category? Analyze the question. This is really very important. So how you can actually analyze the question? By identifying three types of keywords. Yes, you heard it right, three types of keywords. See, if I specifically talk about three types of keywords, the first one is the topic words, another one is your other keywords, third one is your instruction words. I repeat, topic words, instruction words, and other keywords. You need to identify these three keywords. I repeat, topic, instruction, and other keywords from the statement and the questions reflecting in front of you in the topic in the form of actually your essay writing topic. Topic word, as the name itself suggests, the main idea around which whole thing revolves. For example, let's come back to the very statement which was there in front of you in the beginning. Let's come back to that statement. Fossil fuels are essential for producing electricity, powering industry, and fueling transportation. However, one day we'll reach a point when all the world's fossil fuels have been depleted. So the whole idea, it revolves around what? It basically talks about fossil fuels. So this is the topic word, right? So if I specifically talk about, the first step is to identify your topic word. So what this topic word is all about, basically it is the main part of the essay writing. Main part, right? So you need to identify the topic first. This is really very important. What is the whole topic? Because until and unless you are not well aware about this thing, what the topic is all about, it will be difficult to justify the statement in a well-versed manner. So that's just really very important. So let's come back to the statement. Fossil fuels are essential and fossil fuels would have been depleted and all that. So that means the topic word is what? Fossil fuel. That's your topic word around which the whole statement revolves, right? Let's proceed further. Now, if we specifically talk about the other keywords or the instruction words, so how can we conserve these resources? What are some alternatives to fossil fuels? So that means these are the instruction words. They are basically the questions themselves. These tell you exactly what type of information is required. Right? Now you need to identify the difference between instruction words and your keywords. Topic word, it's just really very simple, around which the whole topic revolves. But if we specifically talk about the instruction or the other keywords, so you should be in a position to understand where to draw the line between the two, right? All right. So the first question to the given statement is, how can we conserve these resources? What are some alternatives to fossil fuels, right? So conservation and other alternatives. These are what? These are your what? Instruction words. You are given an instruction. What is the procedure to conserve the resources? Are there any alternatives? So what is this instruction word is all about? Basically the instruction word is what is actually the question is demanding from you, right? That's the instruction word. And when this instruction word is connected with the other keywords, what are the other keywords? For example, how can we conserve these resources? How is the other keyword? How associated with the conserve, which is the instruction keyword, right? Instruction keyword is how, and this conserve is your what? This conserve is your other keyword, right? So what are some alternatives to fossil fuels? What is your what? That's your instruction. What? Right? So that means how, what, when. These are what? These are the instructions. Topic word, okay, the main idea. And what are the other keywords which are associated with your instruction words? For example, conserve, alternatives. Why am I actually giving emphasis on all these things again and again? Because you should be in a position to comprehend this very particular aspect as to, if you are already well versed with the topic words, instruction words and keywords, you will not confront any kind of problems. So topic word, the main idea. Instruction word, how, where, what, when, all that. And other keywords which are associated with these instructions, how, what, when, right? So I believe till here it's clear. Now, so after introduction, there are two paragraphs before the conclusion. So body para 1 and body para 2. So you will answer the first question in the second paragraph, which is also referred to as the main body para 1. And in the third paragraph, which is also referred to as second body para 2, you are supposed to give your explanation. Let's make it very simple. So let's discuss it like that way. First, let me erase all this stuff. Okay. So, if we specifically talk about your essay writing, so you need to understand your first para, although you are not supposed to give any heading in the examination, no, but this is just for the sake of understanding the things. So, first para relates to your introduction. Second para, main body para 1. Main body para 1. Third paragraph, main body para 2. This actually I was talking about, and the fourth paragraph, it actually relates to your conclusion itself. So now that's just really very important. If I specifically talk about main body para 1, which is also referred to as second paragraph, so you are supposed to give answer to the first question. What was our first question? How can we conserve these resources? So you have to give the answer here. And what was the second question? Alternatives to the fossil fuels. That is the question number 2. You're supposed to give the explanation here. But I hereby request you not to give too many points in paragraph number 2 and 3. You are supposed to take only one key idea and then give the explanation, stretch it, explain it in a very comprehensive manner. For example, if you just take one point, we will discuss it in a very detailed perspective in this video only, but for the time being you can just take this as an instance. You are supposed to give one point for the justification of this, how can we conserve these resources. For example, any points where they should be used in a judicious manner. Then you are supposed to give the reasoning associated with the judicious manner. Don't give too many points, just take one point and give the explanation with respect to it, right? Same lies with the third paragraph itself. So let's come back. So, how can we conserve these resources? What are the various ways with the help of which we can actually conserve the resources? Become more energy conscious and more energy efficient. You can be efficient in energy if you are thorough with the thing, right? So that means you're conscious about it. Reuse more renewable energy resources. That's just really very important, right? Those resources, for example, solar panels, you can generate the electricity even from that, right? All new homes should be built with solar panels. Use car less. You can use the other modes of transportation which do not need that much, resources. Energy efficient light bulbs. So these are several what ways with the help of which we can conserve our resources. Second question was in context of what are some alternatives to fossil fuels? Solar power, wind power, wave energy. Wave energy is basically associated with the tides, right? That means from the sea waves in the ocean, you can even generate your energy from that source too. Tidal energy, biomass energy, geothermal energy. Now, how can we conserve these resources? Take one point. If you have taken this point, use car less. You can use public transportation. You can prefer your bicycle to car. You may, prefer to walk instead of taking your vehicle when you are commuting from one place to another and the distance is not that much, right? So just take one point and explain it in a detailed manner. Do not incorporate too many points as to it is difficult for the examiner to just take out the nutshell as to what you are actually talking about it. Now some alternatives to the fossil fuels. Natural forces, solar, wind power, wave, tidal energy. Okay, now you are already well versed with this aspect. How to answer it? Introduction, main body para 1, which is also referred to as second paragraph, third para, fourth para, which is related to conclusion, fourth paragraph. Now it's just really very important to incorporate some good vocabulary. Well, Rome was not built in a day. You can't do it, right? But certainly you can work smartly. You can incorporate some of good vocabulary in your essay writing. You can definitely work on it in a time span of 15 to 20 days. You can incorporate some good vocabulary by just seeing all that vocabulary with respect to each category. For example, with respect to environment, with respect to education, with respect to science, and the list goes on. So sustainable word, you can use it sustainable for a longer period of time, which you can use energy, which you can definitely use in a longer period of time there too. So renewable energy, so these are the energy efficient, these are the certain words of vocabulary which you can definitely use it. How to write an introduction, let's talk about this stuff. So the best introduction to IELTS double question: paraphrase the question, this is point number 1, and outline sentence. That means you have to give your answer to both the questions. That's just really very simple. Whatever I have talked about the IELTS double question category, that was just a clear cut understanding in a very short not the detailed one, a short description. But now we are going to take the things one step further, right? You have to paraphrase the question, whatever the question is. So you have to use the different terminology to give that explanation, different words for the same statement. That is your paraphrasing. And then the outline sentence, that means you have to give answer to both of the question. This really seems difficult, so let's make it very simple. Okay, there is one more thing. The word limit should be 40 to 60 words, and you should not take more than 5 minutes to write your introduction. That's just really very important. Then if we talk about paraphrasing the question, see, our main statement was fossil fuels are essential for producing electricity, powering industry, and fueling transportation. However, one day we will reach a point when all the world's fossil fuels will have been depleted. How can we paraphrase it? So what the nutshell, what the meaning of all this? Fossil fuels, they are being used at a very wide pace, and there will be a time when all the resources will be depleted. And in fact, at this point of time, they are actually at the verge of extinction. They will be depleted soon, right? So how can we paraphrase it? Same meaning but with different words. I repeat, same meaning but with different words. So let's talk about it. The world is currently reliant on oil, coal, and natural gas for the majority of its energy requirements. See? The meaning is just the same. The world is using natural resources to a greater extent. But the point is, we have changed the terminology concomitant or associated with it. Finally, but there will come a time when these run out. So that means instead of saying depleted, we are saying run out. So what is this paraphrasing is all about? Paraphrasing is the meaning should be same, but you're using a different terminology. Meaning is same, but you're using a different terminology. What this is all about? Paraphrasing the statement or the question, right? So we are simply saying the same thing but in a different way and using different vocabulary. This is what this paraphrasing is all about. Same thing in a different way with different vocabulary. So outline statement, because in the very beginning of this introduction discussion we talked about paraphrase the question. Introduction is equal to what? Paraphrase the question plus give answers to both the questions, right? So outline statement, this essay will discuss how we can help to prevent our non-renewable resources from becoming depleted by using our cars less frequently, and it will name some natural forces that can be harnessed to generate power. Again, different vocabulary. So how you can actually make your introduction clear with respect to IELTS double question category. So let's discuss it, right? Introduction. Let me take the pen. Introduction. If I specifically talk about introduction in IELTS double question category is equal to paraphrase the statement. What is this paraphrasing the statement is all about? Paraphrasing mean to say same meaning but with different sentences and different vocabulary. Paraphrase the statement plus what? Give answers to both the questions. Give answers to both the questions associated with that statement. To both the questions. Give answers to both the questions. That's important. Now, this makes your introduction. Answers to both the questions is also referred to as, this is also referred to as your outline statement. This is your what? Outline statement. So this can also be referred to as outline statement. Okay? So introduction is equal to paraphrasing the statement plus give answers to both the questions. So this makes your introduction. You may use synonyms and all that. So this is our final introduction. The world is currently reliant on oil, coal and natural gas for the majority of its energy requirements, but there will come a time when these run out. Instead of saying depletion, we are saying run out. Again, a synonym, same meaning but with a different terminology. This essay will discuss how we can help to prevent our non-renewable resources from becoming depleted by using our cars less frequently, and it will name some natural forces that can be harnessed to generate power. So our first question was, how can we conserve the resources? Our second question was, what are the various alternatives to fossil fuels? Are there any other ways out with the help of which we can generate the energy? So we have finally made our introduction very clear, paraphrasing of the statement plus give answers to both the questions. This is your introduction with respect to IELTS double question category. Now let's move on further. रिकॉर्ड तो हुआ होगा ना?
देखते हैं तुमने रिकॉर्डिंग का बटन दबाया था कि नहीं दबाया था, ये भी इम्पोर्टेंट।
कोई बात नहीं, नहीं तो एक आइडिया मिल गया। वैसे मैंने दबाया तो था शायद।